everyone. Welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Thank you for tuning in today. I am doing the March readings and I'm a little behind, so I'm trying to make that, kind of expedite that the best I can. Probably shorten my readings a little bit, like around 25-30 minutes. Usually they're a little longer. And letting you know this particular reading is for the beautiful sign of Cancer. Hi, Cancer. And now that can be your sun, your moon, your rising, definitely your Venus, and I would even include Mercury. And I'll explain a little bit about that. But yes, welcome, Cancer. It is going to be a powerful month. And you may have heard that if you've tuned into any of the other readers. I have about 5 I usually listen to and have for a long time. I've cut back. And the truth of the matter is, Cancer, there is a format of sorts that I like to do. So I'll formally introduce myself. I'm Marianne. The mystic mentions that I mentioned are all metaphysical things, whether it's astrology, tarot, numerology. I bring in runes. I mean, tea leaves are coming up at the path at some point. All different divinations and forms of spiritual nature that can help me with my gifts of being able to hone in and channel as a tarot, psychic, intuitive channeler. All these things matter, and I love the fact that we have these, I call them tools, to be able to decipher and really kind of come through with the messages as clearly as possible. And as a Cancer, you are a water sign, so you actually have a lot of the gifts that pertain to psychic abilities and intuition and just sensing. You are ruled by the moon, Cancer, so the moon is such a powerful, beautiful, beautiful star, and it's planet, star. I'm understanding they're all stars. I always thought they were just planets. They're stars. The sun is definitely a star. We're all made from stars is the idea. And the moon has so much power and impact on this planet Earth, and it controls the tides, and it certainly controls us beautiful humans, spiritual in this human form, being a large percent of water, right? So we're going to feel that. And as a Cancer ruled by the moon, there's more sensitivity, there's more just knowing and just, without even knowing why sometimes. So you probably can relate to that very well. And that's not to say that other signs that are not water do not have that capability. I'm just saying it's a predominance, it is a trait. And so you've probably been feeling that. Excuse me. You've probably been feeling that, Cancer, and there's good reasons for it. But I'm going to break down the most important aspects of March really quickly. We'll do a chakra check for the month that Spirit wants you to be aware of and focusing in on. I'm going to do a 6-card spread, past, present, and future with the clarification cards. And then I'm going to do 2 oracles to end the reading. Okay? So, breaking it down. Well, first and foremost, I do want to say, which made me really happy, is I'm reading this on the last day of February. So on the 23rd, we had Mars, that's been in your sign, since I believe it was January 6th that went from Leo to Cancer, in retrograde. So, wow. The energy for so many people, and, well, Mars is the warrior planet, okay? The heated, aggressive, action-packed energy, totally lost words right there. I'm sorry. That's part of the retrogrades we're about to speak of. But you get the idea. Without Mars, we don't really do much. We wouldn't have the initiative. We wouldn't have that spirited aspect. It's fiery. It's great. We all need it. And it's been in retrograde. Now, it's been in your sign, and it's not overly comfortable in your sign, Cancer. However, it does help you in feeling, energetic in things that you want to be doing. You're more of a softer energy to begin with, so you're not keen on, necessarily arguing all the time and all that. Not that, it has to happen. We get it. But yeah, so that went direct. So you might be starting to notice a change in your energy. I hope so. I am incrementally, because it's been retrograde for a while, and it's going to take some while to build up its momentum. And that's the end of it being in retrograde for this year. Thank goodness. So every couple of years, it's an extended retrograde time for Mars. And then in the month of March, we have both Venus and Mercury going retrograde. And Venus starts its retrograde tomorrow, the very first day of March. But it's actually been in shadow period. So perhaps, and I'm pretty feeling confident about this for you, Cancer, you've had intuition and certainly reasons to see and feel the impact that the retrograde in Venus versus Mercury, which we'll get to, has impacted you, because it has to do with relationships, all forms of relationships. It has to do with the retrograde and the reviewing and the going back, internalizing, working things through, for better or worse, and not necessarily horrible. Don't get me wrong. It can be very beautiful, depending on what's going on. But it does have to do with your relationships. So it'll continue to work itself out. The conversations will be had. There's no reason to feel rushed. There's no reason to feel you have to push through anything in regards to that. For example, I have definitely noticed and had clear messages and actual events happening that have shown me that it has to do with work. It's not romantic in my regard, but it's a relationship. It's people I work with. It's my neighbor who's been here 30 years and I have been here 22. She's moving. I just found out she's gone. That's a huge transition, right? So things are changing that way, and now I have different, it'll be a different neighbor, that sort of thing. Somebody at work who had been there six years, she's gone. She got another job. It's a better thing. It's positive for so many things, but big transitions this month, okay? So that's Venus, and then that's going to be in retrograde in the sign of Aries. And then it goes back into Pisces at the last of it, which is through the 13th of April. So, between, let's say, the end of March and then the 13th of April. So that'll be in Pisces. Now, that's a good thing, because Pisces is very, very complimentary for you as a fellow water sign. And many of the planets are in Pisces right now, like an overload. Okay, we had the sun in Pisces. We're still in Pisces season. Happy birthday, Pisces. I'm sure you have a lot of friends that are Pisces Cancer, because you get each other, you're water. You have the same fundamental outlook and things going on with that. Excuse me one second. So there's that. And then there's the sun, the moon. We had the new moon, and that happened yesterday. You might be feeling a little bit, I would say, speaking for myself, of course, and what I'm hearing and clients and what they're saying as well, you got to be careful around new and full moons, in the sense that you want to make sure you're hydrating and you're not overdoing it, because you can be depleted very, very easily. It has that effect. It's a gravitational pull that happens. It controls the tides, like I said. So just being aware of that. If you're tired, just don't overdo it. Just kind of stay with your flow. Pisces is a great energy, and it's a north node now that represents the eclipses, which we're also having two of in March. So lots to say, and I always say I'm going to keep it short, but they're all so valuable. The messages are so valuable to all of us. But in the fact that it's Pisces that's in the north node for the next 18 months, and the eclipse is coming up will be in Pisces and the polar opposition sign of Virgo. So the north node Pisces, south node Virgo. It's huge. And so the first eclipse will be on the 13th of March. And that's going to be in Virgo. And I like that a lot for you as well, Cancer, because that is an earth sign, and water and earth are very, very complementary together. You take water, you pour it into earth, you have things grow, and grow. Just, there's action and there's movement and that sort of thing. So because of the two of you together, one needs each other very well. So that's a good thing. The south node of Virgo represents releasing things and letting things go. Okay, so a lot of people are they were talking about it last year. I could hear them. They were feeling the effects. We do tend to feel the effects of the eclipses a month ahead of time sometimes, and definitely even a month after, and then the effects can last 6 months or longer. So those are the important things with the aspect of Virgo, which is happening, the lunar eclipse full moon, shining a light on the things that need to be recognized, letting go of stuff, healing. Healing is a huge component with Virgo. So I like that a lot. And then we go on to the Mercury retrograde. That's happening on the 14th, 13th, 14th, depending on where you're located. So we have the Venus already in action. Mercury is the same, it happens 3 times a year our entire life. I'm getting to know more and more people who've heard of it because they realize, wait a minute, this is crazy right now. The things that happen with Mercury retrograde, just to keep you ahead and just, forewarned, is the fact that technology gets a little funky. So hopefully I'll be able to upload and do all of my videos accordingly. And if not, I'll do my best, but just know I'm dealing with Mercury retrograde. Because we're in the shadow period of that as well. Speech is a little different. Your communication can be, there's a little different, it's hard, like right now, it's hard to connect the cognitive to the voice and the words sometimes. It's humorous at times, actually. And so just making sure you're double checking your emails and making sure that your correspondence is on point. And then travel is another big part of Mercury retrograde. It's anything moving, basically. And when it's retrograde, it kind of slows down, or it appears to be going backwards. It's really not. And also, it definitely, there are delays and things that you have to be patient and flexible and expect the unexpected. And many times in my business, there's a lot of reschedules. And the bottom line is, if they reschedule, that's the best part. It's not like they're just canceling. They just have something come up and it's inevitable. And I'm used to that. And I kind of relax and just really ground myself and be at peace with it. Okay, so there's those things to recognize for the month. And then the last eclipse is going to be in Aries. So it goes from Pisces season, which we're also in, I mentioned, and all these planets in Pisces, Saturn as well, and Neptune, and then it goes to Aries season. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and Aries is the fire sign, and Aries is ruled by Mars, which has been retrograde, but it's going direct. So the power and the confidence and all these beautiful feelings of, let's get it going. Let's get the action going. I want to start this. I don't want to wait anymore. That impulsive kind of beautiful, it's time, right? Even with the retrograde. So don't think for a moment you can't achieve things. That's not the case at all. You just have to be more patient. And a lot of times it's just not needing to push forward. It's about going over things and fine tuning so that when Mercury goes direct, which will be on the 7th of April, you are good to go, okay? And you're going to be you're going to feel so much better and so more empowered, okay? And then lastly, there is another really important thing. In Neptune, which has been in the sign of Pisces for 14 years, it usually is the slower outer planet. It's actually going into Aries for like 3 months, goes back into Pisces, and then stays in Aries next year for 14 years, as well as Saturn. So lots to consider, to be affected by. And so this month we're going to get through it, and I'm going to be checking out your chakra right now, Cancers. And this is, like I said, the energy centers that are in our bodies. I am dealing with the 8 chakras they're in the body. There's many more, I'm told, and I haven't studied enough to share that with you yet. But from the base of the spine, these energy centers that keep us active, and they're just keeping us whole and the best we could be, and the most charged and centered and grounded and all that sort of thing. So for you, Spirit would like you to focus on, for the month of beautiful, for the month of March, this is the crown chakra. This is your ability to receive and download things, which you do anyway, as I mentioned. And I would say prophetic dreams can be very possible with your gifts that you have, and recognizing that. And if you choose to do so, keeping a dream log. It is the 7th chakra. That's the green. I'm sorry, it's the 6th chakra. Forgive me. And so, actually, you know what? The 6th chakra is not the crown chakra. The 6th chakra is your third eye. Absolutely love it. I tap it. I do, emotional tapping. I'm trying to think of EFT, so it's emotional. I can't even think of that right now. This is, see what I mean with Mercury retrograde? It's okay. I've been doing tapping for years. I have the books and everything else. Point in case is that when you tap it, you're going to activate it. And then you can also ask, please, please keep this open and remove all blocks and that sort of thing. But the actual saying on the card that you can utilize and take a picture of through the month of March is, my intuition connects me to the all-seeing, omnipresent nature of the universe. So perfect for you, Cancer. Divine intelligence flows through me. I am provided profound insights that allow me to navigate life's constant movement with simplicity and ease. Of course you need this for the month of March. Wow, this is fantastic. Thank you for that, Spirit. So here's the, if you want to take a screenshot, if you were to say this even once first thing in the morning, I do my meditation on the chakras every single morning. It takes like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, open them all up, base to the, crown, and just keep them vital and alive and working for me in my favor, and for the highest good. So that's beautiful. And then we go to the actual crystal that I like to associate with that, and that is going to be my favorite, as you can see, and that's amethyst. And I keep that in my pocket at all times for my massages. It's great for protection. It is definitely great for enhancing our intuitive abilities, and just healing is a huge one. I do this all the time. I just hit my elbow. Woo, baby. So I've got the tiger eye from the last reading, and I'm going to put the amethyst in here, and I'm definitely going to wear it to infuse the reading. Okay, Cancer? So I hope I didn't overkill the explanation, but there's a lot happening, and I really feel like you're one of the signs that are going to really benefit, and just utilize your gifts as far as being able to just sit, listen to the intuition. There'll be very, very strong messages, as I said, and changes, and for, some we know about, some not, but always a part of life. And definitely for your highest good. So I'm going to put this under here. I'll put it over here. Put this on, and we're going to do the 6-card reading I mentioned for the month of March. And I'm using the Cat Tarot deck, which I love so much. And my beautiful cat's right across from me. Sometimes he likes to hop around. His name is Eclipse. There has been quite a bit being said that, because I think it has to do with the predominance of Pisces, which is very creative and intuitive, and just the energy and the archetype, selfless, compassionate, imaginative, transcendent, just very spiritual in nature. You might be really thinking about spirituality more than ever in the next 18 months, and what that means to you. The words, forgive me before I say it, forget completely. For amethyst, the words for the third eye are insight, dreams, and intuition. I am connected to my inner knowing, which strengthens my healing abilities and insights. I love it. It's just too perfect. So I'll put this here. But this is the Cat Tarot. It's so fantastic. The other day I had not brought this deck out for a while, and I had forgotten what one of the cards are, because when I first brought it out, it's a little bit tricky as far as whether it's a wand or a sword. But I do have the book, so I had to look and spend that time. Forgive me if that happens. I don't think it will, but who knows. And I knew right away today, this is so wonderful. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I always have a conversation with every single sign, and I knew to wear light blue, which is the third eye and the upper quadrants of the chakras, because of your incredible, psychic ability and your senses, and you're so in tune, and in a way it's a beautiful thing, right? But you also, as a Cancer, you have this crab, right? You're known as the crab, and there's the moodiness, and you kind of want to hold on to things as best you can. You love that security, you love your home, you love family. It means everything to you. You're kind of known as the mother sign because of being ruled by the moon, which is a very feminine energy. That's the feminine aspect of all of us. Our moon sign is a good thing to definitely read and listen to during times like this, and especially eclipses, anything having to do with the moon. But I know I lost my train of thought. You have an outer exterior with just this incredible softness inside, but you can be a little, you're not always revealing. Like, you're not always necessarily, depending on your other placements, you could have a lot of fire or whatever. But for the most part, you'd rather observe and watch, and then, you can be very gregarious and friendly and all those things. And you are a cardinal sign, so you keep busy, and you certainly are great at initiating things. You bring in the season of summer, which speaks volumes, right? And that's when I actually adopted Eclipse, was during 3 eclipses, right smack dab in the middle in 2020. So we're going to do the layout here for you. I'll explain it as we go along. Hopefully you can see it. I did change my angle, which I'm going to try to do many things this year. I want to up the ante on this channel. Eventually I'll only be doing readings, and your help is incredibly important to me. If you were to like and subscribe, that is everything for channels like this. It's free and it's simple, but it's super supportive. So if you feel it in your heart to do that, I greatly appreciate that. And we'll just keep on with the reading. So this is the recent past, this is the present, and this is the future. And as I mentioned, I'm going to do a clarification as well. And I've loved that because it's really been pretty interesting and very synchronistic. So first card being the recent past to the reading. And you have the 5 of, that is so interesting. The 5 of Swords. I'm sorry, I'm still learning this deck too, but I really, really love it because I always use the reference of the Rider-Waite-Smith, my very first deck. And a lot of people use that. It's a classic, and it's very descriptive, but I love this obviously because it's cats, but it also has the same feel, and they have the same meaning. And sometimes messages will come through that are not anything having to do with this, just so you know, and I will speak them as they do. This is the 5 of Swords, where you've got generally 3 swords, that's being held by the person right here, the cat. And then the 2 are in the back, and it's like there was conflict, there was, disagreements, there was inner turmoil perhaps that's happened, my goodness, with retrograde Mars. It wasn't me, it was just everything around me. There was just a lot of that. There was a lot of, I could feel the anxiety, I could feel the aggression, it's like they wanted to get out, but it was just like kind of being repressed in a way, and maybe you could relate to that. That's done. Like the people and circumstances that happened with, it's always a blessing, because you're like, you know what? I have dealt with this for, I don't even know how long. Could be a day. Doesn't even have to be long. You just know in your heart of hearts, I'm done with that. I'm done with the people that act like that, and that are gossipy, and that don't have my best interest at heart. All of those things are clearing the decks. And that's what this whole Virgo, honestly, the eclipse, it's a healing thing. So you get rid of things that are absolutely not in your best interest, of all types of things. It could be material things around the house. It could be people, of course, work situation, anything. And that's what you're doing. And you're standing strong about it. You're feeling really actually very good about it, as sensitive as you are. And sometimes it hurts at first. And then you realize, oh my gosh, why did I not do that sooner? That's the kind of energy. So that's the recent past leading you to this reading. What's happening in the present time, Cancer? You have the 3 of Swords. Yeah. Okay. I love it. Look at the teeth. The swords represent the teeth, but sometimes it's a claws. So that's why I get a little confused, but this is the pain and suffering has already happened. The heartache, whatever you want to say, the circumstance, it's done, and it's in the healing process. Okay? You're hanging in there. You're going to be fine. It shows, the Rider-Waite-Smith shows 3 swords through a heart. It's really pretty graphic. It's not pleasant. You look, you're going, oh, well, the swords are our mind. They're our thoughts. They're the air signs, which is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And, Venus is the planet that rules both Libra and Taurus. So I would say if you have Libra in your Taurus, like I said, check your moon, sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Mercury placements. Because anything in Libra, you might feel even more energetic pulls or, just confirmation with Venus, the ruling planet, being in retrograde. And like I said, that's about just kind of going over things. People come back into your life in retrogrades all the time. Be strong. Don't feel like you have to go back as much as you may want to. Don't feel like you have to rush it, It'll be okay. You'll make the right choices. You know that. So this is already passed. And I can tell you right now that in this moment, you're saying, yep, got the three little, wait, those are pentacles. What in the world? Here I go again. Well, I kind of feel really a lot better about that. But even still with the Three of Swords, because there's the teeth there. Wow. Well, the Three of Pentacles, anytime they have the Pentacles, let me double check. I have to do this. Well, that's the Earth. That's the Virgo. That's the Capricorns. That's the Taurus. Three of Pentacles is beautiful because you are working together and you're building something and you're going to be very, very, very masterful at what you're doing. You're feeling extremely confident, and my goodness, the Aries energy with Mars direct now, ruler it's truly, truly going to be, by April and May, you're going to be feeling so, so good about all the things that you've been thinking about. Let me look quickly, please, because I won't feel good if I don't. It could be both, and, it's a whole different way of looking at it. So let me look quickly at the Pentacles, and they're right. Okay, first I'll try the Three of Swords, which I said it was. And that is, there's the three. Nope, it's not. It's the Pentacles. Oh, gosh. Thank you for sticking by. Yes. Okay, let me just read to you what it says. Your rewards are in direct proportion to your dedication to your path for better or worse. Upright. This is a good place for you. This is a good place for you. While it may not look like much to the outside world, your diligence is paying off. The cardboard box wasn't going to chew a hole in itself after all. And you can see this just as chomping at the box. So I can appreciate that analogy right there. That is awesome. So yeah, you get the idea. You're in the right place. You're with the right people. You're surrounding yourself now. You're getting rid of the people, like I said, that are not feeling good, and you haven't really resonated. It's not going to be anything you miss, I promise. And it could be a job you left or laid off of, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to start fresh. That's good. We have to do that in our lives. It's what we do our entire lives. It's just, I would say it's more prominent in this month. And then the future is the Ace of Pentacles. My goodness. Talk about new beginnings. There's something beautiful being offered to you. And the Ace has so much power because it is a beginning, but it's also a beginning that you feel confident, like you have what it takes to do whatever it is you're about to, forge forward in doing. And the Pentacles is just letting you know that this is only the beginning. Like this can multiply, and sorry about the glare. Oh, I love that. So I look at the hand like the universe saying, here you go. I'm going to give you this, and then you do need to put forth your effort, of course, as that co-creation is always happening. This is gorgeous. This is a beautiful reading. Let's continue on. So for the Five of Swords, the clarification is the Queen of Swords. Yeah, okay? Because, there was this strife and this, I don't want to be even here, even if it didn't have anything to do with you, Cancer. I don't want to be a part of all this kind of stuff. That's not me. I don't enjoy that. That's why I like to be at home. I think you like to just be around people you feel comfortable with. It's just that safe haven kind of thing. Makes sense, and I'm going to probably I have been taking you up on that myself, and I'm not a Cancer. I have a Pisces rising now, so I just sometimes I realize, man, that time to re-energize and just to feel comfortable and be around your animals and people and things that matter. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but it's your safe haven, like this room. It's my sacred place. So the Queen of Swords is just very, very, well, very confident. That's the air again. That's the Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Pluto went into Aquarius for the next 20 years. It's our minds, it's thoughts, it's teaching, it's justice, it's fairness, it's equality. You've done a lot to get to the queen or king status. Doesn't mean you have to be a woman or a man. But the bottom line is, the clouds are there because it's like our thoughts are like clouds. They're constantly coming and going, just like the water and the waves and the ocean and the tides and things that the moon, has control over that we spoke of. It's ever changing, right? It's cyclical but the thoughts are the most quickest. Well, maybe moods. It's a close tie. Wow. I usually do 3. Excuse me. So I love that as a clarification on that. You're good, okay? You're feeling strong. You may be talking to people with those signs or those traits, and they're going to be giving you concise and direct messages. It does apply a lot of times to people in higher positions like doctors, institutions, lawyers and that sort of thing. I'm feeling like it's going to be good. Anything that you might have heard was just hearsay. It doesn't matter. Fairness is in your court now. So then we go to the 3 of Pentacles, and the clarification is the Sun. Wow, you are really, really going to be in such a good place. And as I said, the Sun is ruled, that's the card that represents Leo, and that's all about, power and being seen. And maybe you're going to be seen in ways that you really had not in the past that you feel really good about. Okay? Just one of the best positive signs or cards of the zodiac. Isn't that cool? I mean, you got the sunflowers, you're just like basking in the sun, getting that vitamin E. And guess what? In March, we do have the spring equinox, which is why, Aries, we start the new year in astrology in March because it's all new. It's the first sign of the zodiac, Aries, and spring and just, shedding and more sun and more, just beautiful feelings. I personally thrive on that. So I love that. What do you have for the future as we move on, as we're going past the 30-minute mark? Ace of Pentacles for your future. Clarification is the 6 of Pentacles. Wow. The 6 of Pentacles is so beautiful. It also, even though it's a grounded energy, it's about, fairness and justice as well. It's about, let's say you're the one giving. If you're one, and you probably are, you're a very caring and nurturing, compassionate and generous person. But you are also being careful. And I would advise that during a retrograde of Venus and Mercury, actually, being aware and being very thrifty, if you will, with spending, because it's just kind of it's just hard to say. Like I said, things change quickly with the retrogrades and with appointments. So maybe you start out the month thinking you're going to make this much, but then because of the reschedules and all that, it's like, oh. So just being really handy. I find, it just happened yesterday, as a little preview in the shadow part of the Mercury retrograde, you can get good deals. There's really beautiful things about retrogrades. They're not all annoying or anything. It's just being able to work with the energy, okay? And I always like to recommend that you do that. Absolutely love this, okay? And this 5 of Swords, forget about it. It's done. It's in your past anyway, and you're coming out strong. You're feeling very, very clear about things. And the Sun is brilliant, and people that you're surrounding yourself with now and everything, you've got money opportunities that are coming through, and maybe new, job, whatever it is. I just love it. So let us go on to the last part of the reading, okay? And that's going to be pulling some of these Wisdom of the Oracle messages, and they're just one word or 2 words. It's just to see if they correlate and if there's some synchronicity going there for you. Wishing you a beautiful March. Please do me a favor, okay? Because there's a lot of times there's this thing of, oh my God, it's the biggest wow. Yeah, it is. And it means that you're going to have things happening like you never had. For example, if you were to have a child, that's a life-altering experience that you've never had prior to this, and you may not have again. I don't know. That's up to you. But that kind of change, it can be phenomenal. Let's focus on that with this predominance of Pisces energy, which is love and imagination, and sometimes always wearing those rosy glasses. They're ruled by Jupiter. Everything is good. They wake up like it's the best life ever, right? And say that over and over. It's so good to do that. It'll totally change your energy, like I do when I come in and do these readings. So for the messages you need to hear, it is time to go. 45, and that's 9. It's a 9 year. It is a year of the snake, where we're shedding things, and we're just, it's time to get it going. Maybe you have to go somewhere. Maybe you literally want to go on vacation. Maybe you want to just, what it means. I mean, this represents like Cinderella, running from the ball. It was like midnight by the time the clock strikes. She's got to go, right? Only you know what that is, but I like it. And 9 is completion, okay? To start that new cycle. So perfect. Then we have a second one, which is soulmates. And I love that for you. And it could be anybody. It could be a friend. It doesn't have to be romantic. Family, it's life is so fascinating, and people come back, like I said. So it could be romantic. And I know you love romance and love. So if you're single and you're interested, that's 5. That's changes. Ooh, you've got this beautiful angel in the clouds looking down, going like, I created that for you. You're welcome. But you actually manifested it. So remember that. And then last but not least, regeneration. Now this is really interesting because it almost feels like the same I got from another. I have shuffled them clearly. Well, regeneration is just that. It's 46, which equals 10. Brand new start. Once again, Ace of Pentacles. Regenerating, changing something, and in some way during these eclipses. For the better, of course. So I love that. I'm going to finish with your love reading, which I absolutely adore. It's a deck I've had forever. It's called the Mastery of Love. And I'm just going to go like this and then pick this and tell you what it says. It says, love and honor your physical body. Yes. And during these times, like I started this reading to say to you, you want to really take care. It's not like you have to be frightened. I mean, anytime there's extra energy, and those full moons or eclipses are like moon on steroids, as I say. They're 10 times the power. So just be aware of that. And like I said, overhydrate. Take the time to stop when you're tired. Get that rest. Sleep is essential. I know it's hard sometimes, but you're going to do what you can. It says in the back, to create a relationship that takes you all the way to heaven, from the soulmate here, you have to accept your body completely. You have to love your body and allow it to be free to give, free to receive, without shy, because shy is nothing but fear. Wow. There's that queen or king crown, right? Because you're beautiful and perfect as you are. So I like that a lot. I think we all have had times when we're like, well, I wish this wasn't that, or wasn't that. Forget about it. Just love yourself for exactly every cell, every, as they call, shadowy part of you. You have a little temper sometimes. Maybe we could go on. We won't. But yeah, that makes so much sense. Take good care during March. I appreciate your time so very much. Thank you. It means a lot. And come back for my next read, or in April. I'll be here for you. Okay. Thanks. Bye for now.